One of the most highly regarded monologues in film is Blade Runner's Tears in Rain.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched C-beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die.
In a quick 42 words, it can fill you with emotion, give you a new perspective on life and its importance, and maybe even inspire you to make the most of the short time that you have left. But if you saw the original cut, your experience may have been a bit different.
Remember when I first saw the movie, I'm in the theater and I am so drawn in by what Rutger Hauer is doing, and I'm so drawn in by what the theme of the movie has brought us to, this magnificent moment where he is letting go of life. And in those last moments of letting go of life, he's really learned to appreciate life, to the point where he spares Deckard's life, and where he's even holding this dove, because he just wants to have something that's alive in his hands, right? It's amazing sort of crescendo that's going, and there's Rutger Hauer saying, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. All these moments will be lost in time like tears in rain. Time to die. And right as I'm it's like having sex and somebody dumps cold water on you. Right at that moment where I'm like at my emotional crescendo as a viewer, here comes this thudding, dunderheaded voiceover.
I don't know why he saved my life. Maybe in those last moments he loved life more than he ever had before.
Maybe I guess in those last moments he appreciated life more than ever before. Yes, I know that. Thank you. Thank you for kicking this beautiful, delicate, emotional note that we were achieving right in the nuts.
If you've seen the final cut of the film, you'll notice that this voiceover is not there. The reason it was put in the first place was higher-ups at the studio believed that the movie was too hard to understand for the average viewer, and that adding a voiceover explaining the story would make the movie more palatable to a wider range of audience. But, as most fans of the movie would probably agree, the only thing the voiceover did was worsen the experience for everyone. And this is a trend I've been seeing in gaming lately. Big games are a huge investment, and of course, with all that money on the line, studios and publishers are going to want to have as many players as possible playing their game. So things are dumbed down, any edge sanded down, and simplified so that nothing will be a barrier to more gamers playing the game. But time and time again, we've seen that these decisions do not respect gamers enough, and in an attempt to appeal to everyone, things just start to appeal to no one. Devs don't think that we can infer what a character might be feeling, so protagonists have to talk non-stop saying their reaction to everything that happens. If the audience can't infer what a character's reaction might be to an event without the character spelling it out, the character has not been established well enough to the audience. Instead of having the character talk to the audience like some sort of Dora the Explorer episode, how about just write characters better? Studios don't think that a nuanced story will be marketable to a big audience, so stories are simplified, dumbed down, and repeated to the player over and over again. Remember Silent Hill 2, which story is not directly told to the player but instead mostly left up to interpretation? That game has become extremely influential and a benchmark for what storytelling in psychological horror games should be. But can you imagine how much better it would have been if James stopped at points and said to himself, "Whoa, this Maria is like a manifestation of the sexual needs that my Mary could not fulfill when she was sick in the hospital." Puzzles in games. The devs are worried you might get stuck on a puzzle and then quit the game because of it. So the puzzles can't be difficult at all. And even then, just to be sure, they make sure that one of the characters tells you what to do 10 seconds after you've gotten to it. Why even put a puzzle in the game then? The whole point of a puzzle is to experience the gratification of solving something yourself. If the answer is given to you, it just becomes tedious. And the general trend of mature games trying to appeal to as young of an audience as possible. Games that don't really deal with mature or deep themes, keep violence pretty low, but say the F word in every line because that's what the cool kids do, right? Art styles that try to emulate Fortnite or Pixar. Or online mature games that are chat banning everything automatically. In Black Ops 6, you can get chat banned so easily. I had my chat settings so that only my party could hear me. It was only me and my friend that could hear me in the party, and somehow I got chat banned. I wasn't even raging or saying anything bad. We honestly have no idea what it was. And as a result, when you log on, almost no one talks. COD multiplayer used to be a pretty social experience. Yeah, there were always the people that would just talk crap nonstop, but a lot of the time you could actually talk to your teammates and it would help your team. In Modern Warfare 2019, it was really fun to play gunfight, and it was easy to meet random people and party up. Part of the experience that made winning more gratifying was when you could hear the other player after you killed them getting angry, and then taunt each other during the brief break in between rounds. When that dumb player on the other side insulted my aim, it would feel so much better to win. It was just more fun. And now look at Black Ops 6. When it launched, you couldn't even talk to the enemy team at all during a gunfight game. After a while they updated it, allowing talking during round changes, but this lasted for like a week before gunfight was gone, and it didn't matter anyways because everyone is so scared of chat bans they don't talk publicly in the game anyways. It's a lot less fun to play any of the game modes like search or ranked that requires teamwork when no one is willing to risk talking. And it's all because they are scared offensive chatting will push little baby gamers away from the game where you can shoot other players' limbs off and then celebrate with an emote where your character does drugs. Even if your product is meant to appeal to everyone, it doesn't have to be dumbed down to an elementary level. Mario has always been the shining example. Mario 64 has pretty basic ways that you can collect the stars that even me as a little dumb baby figured out. But by having Mario perform a different move with almost all button combinations, it invites players to explore those mechanics, to navigate the maps in unique and more challenging ways. The developers respected players enough to realize that they would take advantage of these movement mechanics, and it allowed the game to have an extremely high skill ceiling. It's still a fun play to this day, and has allowed for a very impressive speedrun. If a modern developer were to make this game, they'd probably think, oh, the little kids that we want to play this game might get discouraged and put the game down when they accidentally can't pull off the triple jump and die. We should just take those extra movement options out and limit it to the normal jump so that the game is accessible to everyone. And the game would have been so much worse for it. The average age of gamers really isn't that young anymore. Please, devs and publishers, show us a little more respect. We aren't all little dumb babies.